Anybody see the Sangoma blog post? Has everybody fired a little response back to that guy? It's kind of opened the floodgates there a bit, hasn't he? So this is the interactive part of it, and as Lorenzo and other people have said, what we're trying to do is harness the brain power in the room, the collective brain power, and try and make some progress on various things. We asked you to submit ideas, and that was done, and Giacomo is going to bring up the little list of things that people talked about, and the idea would be to perhaps split into maybe 2 groups or 3 groups, depending on what ideas people would like to pursue, in order to make some progress on them. Now, I'm going to point to Ruben again. There's Ruben, the guy in the blue shirt. He's here from the Open Voip Alliance, and what he said is that if we make some progress and come up with some ideas, these things can be recorded and continued outside of this event on the Open Voip Alliance, hopefully contributing to another such event at some stage. In fact, I had thoughts about that because in February, TMC are running IT Expo, as they always do, and it's at a beach, Fort Lauderdale Beach. Maybe we should get a room there. I was trying to use a little bit of Sowell language there with the get a room, but it didn't really work very well. Anyway, okay, are we up with the ideas, Giacomo? Would you like to elaborate?
Yeah, so this is what was edited directly from you. We didn't change anything, so it's a list that could be changed or phrased differently. But perhaps if you first of all, if you spot something that you're already sure it's a pain point for you and you want to highlight it. Meanwhile, I'll try to read that a little. Is it doing echo with the microphone? So I think we got one point about WebRTC Federation. Another related to the Open Voip Alliance. I don't know if there's the opportunity for explaining what is it and how we can interact with it, because to be honest, I don't have a clear idea how this could work. SIP-IT, there is one fairly complex related to memory torture. So VoIP in the cloud is a little bit of gray topic, but the main point there is how moving the infrastructures on the cloud is changing the way we design the VoIP solutions, and if there's any pain point that you would like to highlight, something specific that perhaps we can improve in collaboration. And similar to that, how WebRTC is impacting VoIP. I think it's broad as a topic, but we can narrow it down if it's of interest. And something related also to the protocol proposal from Rosenberg related to trunking, RIP, and perhaps since one thing that perhaps is missing in that proposal, or better, is not part of the proposal because it's mainly focused on trunking, is there anything that we can borrow from that idea and thinking about the interaction between the client and the server? SIP authentication and identity and security, opportunities for standardization, or to phrase it in a different way, because I think one of the points was proposed by Iñaki. Is there, which is the purple one. So our Quicken Web Apps assembly basically going to remove the need for a bunch of protocols that we are using now and free developers to build something in a more simple way without the constraints that come with the protocols. Too similar. So do we need more? Do we need applications that run on the cloud that are already there? So one of my points is, if I want an HTTP load balancer on AWS, I can spin one. I can delegate AWS the load balancing and the HA. if I want something like this for SIP, I need to build it myself. And I'm sure that many others are building it, and perhaps we are using similar solutions with Camaillo, OpenSIP's RTP engine, and so on. So is there something that we can do together, and perhaps even propose to AWS and Google platform and so on as a sort of solution we are happy with, and we can collaborate and propose to the other users. And last point, I'm going to read it. History shows that a lot of mistakes have been done and holes left when designing Voip protocols. Should we look at using formal methods to validate the protocol correctness and their implementation?
So those are the list of the subjects that have been suggested. Has anybody got any strong views or opinions they would like to share on these before we decide which ones to talk about? Any strong views at the side? In that case, if we haven't got lots of strong views, should we do some kind of show of hands to pick? Oh, Iñaki has it. Iñaki to the rescue. In fact, Iñaki, I'm going to give you a line bar.
Okay, I just want to say that I think that the first point is important to discuss, to avoid confusions, and well, it's very easy to discuss about it. And the first one, I mean, the WebRTC and Federation.
WebRTC Federation.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got 1 vote for that. 2, 3 and 4 and 5.
Is there any other subjects up there other than the Federation one that people want to discuss? Okay, so we have some votes for Federation. Is there any other subjects up there that people would like to discuss this afternoon? Go ahead, sir.
I would like to hear more on the RIP protocol. It seems specifically designed for the American market with the integrated authentication, so some information on whether it's feasible to have it here in Europe and so on. So I'm not really the guy to say something intelligent about it, but I would like to hear other people talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody want to contribute on RIP?
RIP is really work in progress. So go to the IETF.
RIP is just brainstorm right now. It's work in progress. So go to the IETF draft pages and find RIP. Search for Rosenberg and Cullings, and you'll find information in there. I don't know if anyone in here has actually read all the details and heard all the discussions.
Yeah, I haven't, but there was a talk at ClueCon about it. Do I 100% agree with everything that was said in that talk? No, but it should give you a good enough understanding. And it's out there on the web, exactly. It's on YouTube.
Also, Verizon is starting to talking about RIP. In the matter that they have a very loose schedule. One, they're going to release RIP in the United States, but they are implementing RIP. That's what they said the last.
You have to remember that in the US there's a strong pressure from the FCC to get STIR going, and RIP is one way of doing it, and we haven't got that pressure yet, as far as I know, in any country in Europe.
Thank you very much. So it seems that Federation is the main thing that people would like to discuss. So what I'm going to suggest, by way of an exciting bit of interaction, is that we split into 2 groups. One group will be led by Ule, the other by Iñaki, if you're up for that, to just talk about Federation, its implications, and how we see a way forward. And we'll spend, let's have a quick look. We'll spend perhaps 35, 40 minutes talking about that in your individual groups, and then perhaps if Iñaki and Ule can bring back the conclusions that they draw. And our good friend Ruben has said that he will note down the initial conclusions and pop them up on the Open Voip Alliance for people to discuss them going forward. But it'll be interesting to see the two groups and compare and contrast the ideas that you come back with. How does that sound? Is that okay? So we're going to split into two groups. Let's do it roughly. The people on this side with Iñaki and the people on that side with Ule, but there's a few too many people. So if 3 or 4 people would like to make their way onto this side. And in terms of actually gathering into the groups, let's have one group around this area and one group right at the far end of the room. Just okay. Yes, go ahead, Saul. Oh, that's an excellent idea. Yes, as a devil's advocate position. Brilliant. Okay, good idea. So, Iñaki, if you'd like to take your group down at the far end. That's a very good idea of Saul's. Excellent. Yeah. Yes, have a word. Yeah. Yes, anybody wants to be with Ule's group, bring your chairs up here.
Lorenzo, one of the